Now, gunmen have kidnapped more than 200 school pupils in Nigeria. It's the second mass kidnapping this week. In the northeast, the authorities are searching for at least 200 people kidnapped earlier this week by Boko Haram fighters. The victims are thought to be mostly women and children who lived in a camp in the town of Gambaru after fleeing their homes because of attacks by insurgents. Officials say more than 280 school students were abducted from the northwestern town of Kuriga on Thursday. Well, pictures from the town show parents of the school children calling for them to be found and returned. The pupils, who were aged between 8 and 15, were in the assembly ground when dozens of gunmen arrived on motorbikes. Let's have a listen to what the state governor had to say.
We have also sat down with the parents of those children that have been kidnapped. Even we have sent a strong message to the mothers, and we made it clear to them that one of the most important responsibilities of the government is to ensure that we protect the lives and properties of our citizens.
Not yet. Our West Africa correspondent Miney Jones updated us on the story as well.
The authorities say that they are throwing everything at trying to find these children that were abducted just 24 hours ago. They were sitting in their morning assembly on Thursday morning when armed men rode into their school compound. Now, it's two schools, a primary and a secondary school, right side by side, just separated by a line of trees. And apparently the assailants rounded up these children and took them into a nearby forest. Some of them managed to escape, as well as some of the teachers. They say that they then tried to get local militias, vigilante groups to go after the children. Unfortunately, they were unsuccessful, and one of the community members that went after them was killed. We've also now gotten news that a teenager that was a pupil at the school was also killed. In Kaduna, in northwestern Nigeria, the area where it happened is dominated by a group called Ansaru. It's a fraction, it's a splinter group of Boko Haram. And here in the northeast, some of the women who were able to make their way back to this camp for internally displaced people said that it was Boko Haram fighters that had taken the dozens of women or children that went missing late last week. They were out gathering firewood by their camp when they disappeared. Next month is going to be 10 years since those 276 girls were taken from their dormitory, from their school in Chibok. And it's interesting that as that anniversary is looming closer, we're seeing a resurgence in this kind of mass kidnappings, because I think it has to be said, they hadn't really happened a lot in the last couple of years. The last big one like this was in 2021. Although Nigerians were still being kidnapped, they were in much smaller numbers. And so it's interesting that as the Chibok anniversary is coming by, we're seeing a resurgence in this kind of attacks, which always brings so much publicity to Boko Haram.